So, hey YouTube. Oh God, I'm racing the sun because I want to get this in, and I started it during my lunch break at work, but I didn't have enough time, and people kept walking past and stuff. So let's get it in. The episode was good. However, it left me with a whole bunch of WTF moments. Like, okay, what just happened? I don't think I understand. So let's start. Well, I want to start with Sally Draper because I liked her story. She's still mad at her dad because she caught him cheating, and she wants to go to boarding school, and it's supposed to be one of the elite boarding schools that Jackie Onassis went to. Jackie Kennedy Onassis went to. Betty's all for it because Sally's been a thorn in her side anyway lately, and it's a good move, I guess, in that kind of lifestyle. So anyway, she goes, and the girls want weed and alcohol. So she calls Glenn, her buddy, and he comes over, and not you could pretty much figure out what happened there. I mean, nobody got raped or anything. Nobody had a super drug high or anything. It was just kind of normal, I guess, teen stuff, making out and all that stuff. But I guess Sally has decided that she's into him. I don't know if she decided that before, but I think she's decided that she's into him. And he was kind of like, she's like my sister, but he still defended her and made her feel all good. And basically, they said that if she wants to go to that boarding school, she can go. So, yeah. But anyway, I like that story. Because it was kind of creepy. I didn't know what was going to happen. Especially when those two girls were just kind of like, what are we going to make her do for us? I thought they were going to like tie her up and like munch her carpet. I don't know. I don't know what I thought, but yeah, so it was good. That was well paced. I really think the only other two stories were the other two stories that I wanted to talk about, which were kind of WTF for me. Now, Peggy and Ted had been working on this campaign for some kind of hospital. And in working on it, they have been like super, super giggly. And Megan and Don went to the movies. They saw Rosemary's Baby, which I love. Peg and Ted were there, and they said, "Oh, we're just researching for this project." And Megan's kind of like, "Ooh." The problem is, Peggy came up with a really good campaign, and Ted is kind of wanting to get it done for her. And the problem arose that the campaign budget went over because they needed more actors for her idea or whatever. And Ted's like, I want to do it for her. This is her, this is her moment. And it's pretty clear that he still has feelings for her, and she probably still has feelings for him, and that, his personal feelings are clouding his judgment. So at a meeting when they were going to talk about the budget with the hospital people, Don kind of took it upon himself to say, oh, well, he wants to go with this budget for personal reasons. You don't want to say? You don't want to say? And kind of put him on the spot. And then Don lied and said, oh, this was Frank Gleason's last project, the guy who was a partner at the old firm that died right before they partnered. Okay, so Peggy was mad, obviously. I understood that because of the fact that, you're taking all the credit away from me. And I could see how she could take that personally with Don, because Don has always been kind of a dick to her. But I didn't really get what she was talking about when she went into Don's office afterwards. I don't know. I might have to watch that again, but I didn't really get the points that she was making. Now, right after the meeting, when Ted and Don were talking, Don was just basically like, oh, you're not using your head. You're not, your personal issues are clouding your judgment, blah, 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 blah. My whole thing with that is, okay, maybe he's right. I don't really know if Ted was I mean, I guess he fancies a girl, and so he wants to try to do whatever, but he's still married, and I don't necessarily know that he wants to pursue Peggy anymore like that. I don't know. Maybe how did you guys read it? But for Don to say that to him just felt very hypocritical to me because, and I don't have, concrete evidence. I don't necessarily keep every single detail of every single episode up here. But I could swear that when Megan was working there that he probably gave her favoritism, But whatever. I didn't really get a feel on how Ted took that comment either. So that was another WTF. I don't know that if I don't really know I don't really know where Ted stands with Peggy now, to be honest. Because I mean when she told him that she had broken up with Abe, he said nothing had happened. So I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of the whole Peg and Ted and Don thing? That just pissed me off that Don would have the audacity to say something like that to him. Next, my boyfriend, Bob Benson. Well, we got a little bit into him this week. A little bit of the mysteries were kind of solved. Basically, Kenny Cosgrove has had it with the Chevy people. And you remember he got in a car accident messing with them. And this episode, he went hunting with them. And they shot the poor boy in the face. I thought that he was going to be dead. But he had an eye patch and he had like all these, is that what you call shrapnel? Remember that Paula Cole song, I Don't Want to Wait? And she said, wearing shrapnel in his skin. And for the longest time, I didn't know what shrapnel was. So was that what that was? I am so stupid. Okay, so basically, Kenny Cosgrove had talked to Pete Campbell about the whole thing, saying he wants to be off the account. And Pete Campbell, being the slimy little bastard he is, and I love him. I don't think that we've seen enough of that side of him this season. So it was kind of fun to see that slimy, opportunist a-hole that Pete Campbell can be. But basically, he talked to Kenny and was just kind of like, oh, you know what, I'll help you. I'll take it, even though, he really wants it because he needs a big account. So he talks to the partners. They say that because Bob Benson already has a relationship kind of with Chevy and that they like him, that, he has to work, they have to work together on this. And Pete kind of protested and Bob was like, I think you guys aren't speaking freely because of me, so I'll just leave. And he left and they basically told Pete, you know what? If you don't like Bob, if you don't want to work with him, then we can find somebody else that will work on this account. So Pete's idea, which I think is kind of a smart one, but anyway, he called Duck, who is now a headhunter, and he's basically asking him to, get Bob Benson a lead somewhere else. So, he gives him his like personnel file and everything, and then Duck calls him back and says, all his stuff is faked. He somehow figured out that he was a manservant to somebody, which I take to mean he was doing some. Anyway, what else was revealed? Just that he really didn't work at any of the places that he has on his reference, and that Pete was actually the one that hired him. Oh, see what WTF? I just got it now. Ding, ding, ding. That's sad. Okay, so Pete confronts Bob. Oh, and there was another like weird section where Bob was speaking in Espanol in his office. He was going off. He was like, Pete Campbell is a son of a bitch, and he said, I don't care how nice she is. So I don't know. I don't know what that was. I guess he was talking to Manolo, the nurse person. Anyway, how many times have I said anyway in this review? I'm just trying to get it over with so I could go home. I mean, I'm home now, but I want to get into my house. So anyway, Pete confronts Bob and is basically just kind of like, I know that you're a fraud and everything, but then the conversation turned, and that's another thing that I might have to watch again, because I didn't really get where it turned, because all of a sudden Pete's like, we can work together, just not that closely. And he's like, what do you mean? And he's like, I'm off limits. So basically, don't, try to toot it on my booty. Basically, don't try to make any homosexual advances towards me. And, oh my God, I feel like I'm missing out something. Oh, I wanted to say just basically that, was it first season or second season where Pete kind of found out about Don not being Don Draper and was going to try to bribe him? So a couple of things that he said, like to Duck and to Bob, made me think that he was alluding to Don Draper, but it could be something else. WTF, what just happened? And as he was leaving the office, he said something about getting rid of Manolo. And then Bob said, Manolo doesn't like women. So, if Bob and Manolo are together, that is such a cute couple, right? I love it. But does it really still explain Bob's whole creepy existence at the beginning? I mean, just popping up, and I don't think that all of it was directed towards Pete. I mean, it seemed like to me it was directed towards Don at first. So I don't know. We still don't know his game plan. Does he have a game plan, or is he just pulling a Don and lying to get a really good job in advertising? All I know is he's cute, and I'm sad that it's only one more episode, because I won't be able to look at him. Guess I'll have to buy the Blu-ray when it comes out. Well, yeah, one more episode, guys, and I actually started on the third episode, so I can't say that I did this full season, but it's actually been kind of fun talking about Mad Men, because I really like the show, and it was a really good season this season. I just, Don, like if next season is the last season, I think that he could kill off Don in this next episode, and then, they always have some kind of mystical stuff going on in Mad Men. Not always, but there's always like a couple episodes where it's like this mystifying spirits and hallucinations and all that stuff. So maybe he could just be on the seventh season as like a ghost or something. Does it mean that I want them to kill Don? I just, I don't know if I said this in the last Mad Men review. Actually, I think that I lapsed and missed a couple. But I wanted to say that I was reading this book about, I was reading The Rebel by Albert Camus. And he was talking about the Byronic Hero. See, I was going to be sad because I didn't remember it. But Byronic Hero. And I wish I had the book right now, but it described Don to a T. And I came to this conclusion that, like, at this point in his life, it feels like he's just ready to die. That's just a whole feel I get from him, especially this season. Like, he doesn't care about anything. He doesn't want to care about anything. He's just ready to die. He's just ready for it to be all over. So grant him his wish, Matthew Weiner. I mean, you wrote him to be like that, right? Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to post this first, and then I'm going to post my Man of Steel review. And then for the rest of this week, I'm probably just going to do the reality roundup. And maybe I'll be able to talk about Kanye West. I think album reviews are, especially from people that I really like, and I really love Kanye West, Album reviews might be a little bit difficult for me, just like the movie reviews, but I don't know. We'll see. I like the album though. Not that Mad Men viewers, all of them, care about Kanye and his album Yeezus, but I'm just gonna say that I really like it, even though it's a tad not as forward for him as I think it should be. It has glimpses of it, but anyway, I'm not gonna waste Mad Men viewers' time. One more episode, guys, and bye. Okay, I'll see you next week. Bye.